Dubai is building tomorrow at warp speed, but is it a blueprint for the future or a high-risk experiment? In the early 1990s, Dubai's leadership set out to rewrite the city's future. Oil reserves were limited, and the clock was ticking. Instead of waiting for global trends to reach the Gulf, Dubai's rulers began approving new policies at a pace that startled even seasoned investors. Trade and tourism became the new engines. The city opened its doors to foreign business, launching free zones where companies could operate tax-free, with full foreign ownership, a radical departure from the region's norms. Jebel Ali Free Zone, established in 1985, became a magnet for international shipping and logistics, and by the 1990s, dozens of similar zones were in the pipeline. Tourism received equal attention. Government directives fast-tracked permits for hotels, resorts, and shopping malls. The goal was simple: build a city where global travelers would want to visit, live, and invest. Public targets became a feature of governance. Each mega-project, whether airport, port, or business district, came with a published completion date and numbers to match. The logic was clear: speed, scale, and visibility would attract global capital and talent, signaling that Dubai was open for business and ready to deliver. By the end of the decade, Dubai's skyline was dotted with cranes, and its economy was running on public deadlines. This state-led growth model, rooted in fast approvals and visible targets, laid the foundation for the city's expansion. It is a model that still defines Dubai's approach to innovation and risk today. Dubai's innovation agenda is built on 5 pillars, each with its own targets, timelines, and institutional owners. At the heart of global connectivity, Dubai International Airport processed 88.2 million passengers in 2023, according to Dubai Airports. That figure places it among the busiest airports on the planet, and expansion plans are underway to push capacity even higher. In finance, the Dubai International Financial Center reports more than 3,000 registered entities as of early 2024, based on DIFC and DFSA records. This cluster anchors Dubai's ambition to serve as a financial bridge between East and West, with thousands of firms and tens of thousands of jobs linked to its growth. Mobility is being redefined by the Roads and Transport Authority's commitment to autonomous vehicles. The official target is clear: by 2030, a quarter of all trips in Dubai should be made in autonomous vehicles. That goal is already in motion, with driverless taxis now operating in select districts and a planned citywide rollout managed by RTA and global tech partners. On the digital frontier, Dubai's Future Foundation has launched a metaverse strategy aiming to create tens of thousands of virtual economy jobs. Official announcements cite a target of 40,000 jobs, but estimates vary and public progress data is limited. The city's innovation brand is also embodied by the Museum of the Future, a landmark designed to showcase AI and emerging technology. Clean energy is the final pillar. The Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum Solar Park, managed by DEWA, is on track to deliver 5,000 megawatts of solar capacity by 2030, forming the backbone of Dubai's clean energy strategy. Each of these pillars is more than a slogan. They represent measurable commitments, tracked by official agencies, and designed to be judged by results. Ambition and acceleration have carried Dubai to the edge of what seems possible for a city, but speed brings its own set of questions. Can any place scale this quickly across aviation, finance, technology, and clean energy without running into limits? What happens when global demand cools, or when a city's targets outpace the realities on the ground? These are not just questions for policymakers or investors. They cut to the heart of Dubai's experiment. Is this a model that can be copied, or is it uniquely vulnerable to shocks? Now I want your take. Is Dubai becoming the world's most important innovation hub, or is it pushing too fast? Write your opinion in the comments. Like this video if you enjoy deep dives like this, and follow for more investigations. The next chapter isn't just about ambition, it's about the risks that come with running at this velocity. From real estate cycles to debt, climate, and water, each pressure point will test whether Dubai's future is built on solid ground or on shifting sands. The evidence speaks for itself. A surge of new real estate supply is set to hit Dubai over the next 2 years. Consultancy reports from Knight Frank and Cushman and Wakefield point to as many as 120,000 new residential units scheduled for completion in 2026, more than triple the deliveries of 2025. Most of these are apartments, with high concentrations in districts like Jumeirah Village Circle, Business Bay, and Dubai South. Developers rely heavily on off-plan sales, funding projects through buyer payment plans that sometimes stretch past handover. For now, demand has kept up, especially in prime and villa segments, but the pipeline for 2027 is even larger, with estimates ranging from 55,000 to 75,000 units, and some analyses suggesting a peak of over 70,000. Ratings agencies including Fitch and S&P have flagged this rapid supply growth as a key risk. If absorption rates falter or global capital inflows slow, vacancy could rise and prices in oversupplied zones might soften. These agencies also monitor government-related enterprise debt, much of it tied to mega projects and real estate. Any tightening in global credit markets could make refinancing costlier, putting pressure on both developers and state-owned giants. As one Fitch analyst put it, the pipeline is substantial and the refinancing window is narrowing. Signals to watch are absorption rates and government-related enterprise debt maturity profiles. Dubai's climate is not just hot, it's rewriting the definition of extreme. The UAE National Center of Meteorology reports that summer 2024 saw multiple days when official temperatures crossed 50 degrees Celsius. These are not one-off events. The frequency of 50 degrees Celsius days has risen over the past 2 decades, and climate models predict even more in the years ahead. When the mercury climbs this high, the city's infrastructure faces a relentless test. Air conditioning demand surges, pushing Dubai's power grid to its limits and driving up electricity costs for residents, businesses, and government alike. The pressure does not stop there. Water security in Dubai depends almost entirely on desalination. Over 90% of the city's potable water comes from energy-intensive desalination plants operated by DEWA. Every cubic meter of fresh water requires significant electricity, linking water costs directly to energy prices. This means any spike in energy demand, whether from heat waves or global market shifts, feeds straight into the operational expenses of keeping Dubai's taps running. The city has invested in grid resilience and renewable energy, but the core dependency remains. Dubai's water is human-made, and the cost of making it rises with every degree the city gets hotter. As one climate scientist at the UAE National Center of Meteorology said, "The real challenge is not just surviving the heat, it's managing the rising costs that come with it." Dubai's economy leans heavily on international visitors. In 2023, the city welcomed 16.7 million tourists, according to Dubai Tourism and Commerce Marketing. That figure places Dubai among the world's top destinations, with hotels, shopping malls, and entertainment districts operating at full tilt during peak season. But this success story carries a built-in vulnerability because global demand is the lifeblood of the model. When travelers arrive in record numbers, the city's revenue streams, from hospitality to retail to real estate, surge. If global economic conditions shift, or if travel is disrupted by health crises or geopolitical tension, the impact is immediate. The COVID-19 pandemic offered a stark example, with visitor numbers dropping sharply in 2020 before rebounding over the next 3 years. Today, Dubai's exposure to external cycles remains high. Airlines, hotels, and malls depend on steady flows of tourists and business travelers, and any prolonged downturn would ripple through the city's job market and public finances. This reliance on external demand completes the risk profile because Dubai's fortunes are closely tied to forces beyond its control. Positive signals are already visible in Dubai's public dashboards and investment flows. Passenger volumes at Dubai International Airport remain near record highs, and DIFC continues to report steady growth in registered firms and licensing revenues. Clean energy targets are being tracked by DEWA, with solar park capacity additions meeting or exceeding annual milestones. Transparency has become a feature, not just a promise. Official agencies publish regular updates on project progress, fiscal performance, and regulatory changes. FDI inflows hold steady, and tourism arrivals consistently surpass 16 million per year. These are the markers of a city where ambitious targets are not just announced, but measured and reported. Signals of strain are already surfacing across Dubai's public and private dashboards. Bond yields for some government-related entities have edged higher in recent quarters, reflecting investor caution about refinancing costs. Property tender notices in oversupplied districts are being extended or quietly withdrawn, hinting at hesitation among developers. Migration data shows a slowdown in new work permit issuances, especially in mid-level service sectors, just as the city's housing supply is set to surge. Ratings agencies have placed debt of government-related entities and real estate concentration on their watch lists, and analysts are tracking capital outflows from certain investment funds. These are not isolated blips. They are measurable warning signs that the city's accelerated model is running up against real-world limits. Dubai's real story isn't the skyline, it's whether a city can sustainably run at the speed of the future. Is this a blueprint for global innovation or a high-risk experiment waiting on its next test? The answer shapes more than Dubai. Where do you stand, hub or hazard? Drop your take below.